a.m. here in Los Angeles, and it is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. December 16th. Can you believe it? AD 2024, and we're gonna have a fun, loosey-goosey, the Hake Report show. JLP on the JLP show gave Caitlin Clark the 3rd degree. Lord. The 3rd degree. Hake was trying to let it slide. You heard me last week talking about Caitlin Clark is still a queen. She's young. Making excuses. No excuses from Jesse Lee Peterson. We covered that today on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Why? Do you guys know? Does anybody know why they... I'm sure it's explained somewhere. Why did they only charge that Luigi Mangione with 2nd degree murder? Why only charge him with 2nd degree murder? It's for 2nd degree murder is like heat of the moment stuff. Maybe they just lower charged him because they figured that they could get him on that. Because there's I don't know. They overcharge the whites when they kill a black in self-defense. They call it murder, they call it manslaughter, they call it this and that. And, you know, like George Zimmerman, if he's white, a white Hispanic. But with the healthcare CEO, whom they don't even name him most of the time, they just call it healthcare CEO, United Healthcare CEO. They don't say his name, Brian Thompson, but they sure say the alleged killer's name. Is there any evidence to this thing that people are saying, oh, was he framed? I'm leery of, a lot of people think that they know, but they don't know. You know, they don't know. So, but they think that they know. I went to the Santa Monica beach yesterday and proved the ball Earth. I don't have the footage for you. Perhaps during the Christmas break, Christmas to New Year's, Hake gets a break. And so maybe I'll play that for you guys on my channel at that point. But, so nice. I don't know why. I don't know why they're only charging him with 2nd degree murder, but whatever. I don't care. They don't care, I don't care. Anyway, guys, I think that we're ready. I will get to your calls if you'd like to call in, 1-888-775-3773. Anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the Mexican Monday, by the way, show!
Have you been naughty or nice?
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I'm wearing a light blue colored t-shirt, courtesy of the Jesse Lee Peterson store on Amazin-merch-store, I think. On, what do I do? Let's see. Hold on. Anyway, go to rebuildingtheman.com/stores. Rebuildingtheman.com. Where did that go to? /stores to get yours. Get it quick. Oh, yeah. Printify. If you go to the Printify shop, or if you go to, the different places, they do have them. So get yours. You can get the tri-blend version, Amazin Christmas Monkeys, or the 100% cotton version that I'm wearing. That's the same color. Nice, huh? Rebuildingtheman.com/stores. I recommend it. It's pretty cool. Nice. What's up to the DLive crew and what is up, Rumble crew? I'm live on Rumble, DLive, YouTube. Good morning, China expert. Live on Facebook. What's up, Ponto King? Oh, Lord. With all of these advertisements, it's a mess. I do have super chats to get to. I did see you guys come through with those. Much appreciated. You know, I wanted to draw a contrast, something that I saw on X from a guy who has been on the Hake report. Did I get it from this guy? Yes. So cover your eyes, kids. It might be a little bit vulgar. Richard Spencer posted this. Brian Thompson, fun to be around. Bit of a jerk, whatever. Genetic line secured through children. Yes, he had children. Brian Thompson, the American healthcare CEO, did his best as a pawn in a corrupt system for which he is not responsible and which there is no political will to reform. So Brian Thompson, overall, good guy. Luigi Mangione, grown man, listens to Taylor Swift. That's not bad. Manifesto doesn't reach op-ed length. Little manifesto thing, weak. Can't differentiate between correlation and causation. Interesting. Typical. A little too Italian. Indeed. Italian. Thinks his normie opinions are edgy or unusual. Praises the Catholic Church for appealing to plebs. Aspires to read something. Constantly whines about back pain. Oh, come on. Becomes a gym bro for the six-pack, but is a terrible athlete. Believes in something. Rich parents got rich by owning a chain of rest homes, not doing something cool. Class kiss-up, who became valedictorian through extra credit points. I know. Shoots a defenseless man in the back, gets arrested at a McDonald's, becomes violent over a middle-class ideal of universal health insurance. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not for all this simping for this guy who allegedly committed this murder. Grandstanding. What a mess. Terrible. I retweeted it because there's all this trendy hatred of the corporate greed. Give me a break. Like Nick, the American anchor baby, said, "What? You're not greedy? Give me a break. Of course you're greedy." It's dumb. Why was he charged with only second-degree murder? I don't get that. But anyway, I don't really care that much. Don't really care at all. But I'm curious. And he got this lawyer woman who has an Italian name, by the way. She has both a Jewish name and an Italian name, I think. Are these the same thing? Okay, yeah. They're fighting extradition to... Man, look at that face. Man accused of killing the CEO remains in Pennsylvania State Prison. What a mess. Alvin Bragg? Oh. Interesting. Alvin Bragg. Charged him almost... Never mind. He charged him almost with the same thing that he charged... No, it's not almost. It's not. It's different. People are trying to call Daniel Penny a murderer. They're literally calling him a murderer. Daniel Penny, the guy who restrained Jordan Neely on the train. They're calling him a murderer. It's so dumb. Yeah, I didn't say that word. I said jerk. They're calling him a murderer, and then they're playing like this guy is a hero. It's understandable what he did. It's so phony. It's so ridiculous. Shout out. There was something else in the news that I wanted to hit. You know how Christmas is coming? A lot of you guys are parents and gals, are parents. They are talking about how parents, the kids are so spoiled that all the parents can do is say, oh, maybe you're not going to get presents, Christmas presents. How to discipline your kids on Santa's naughty list. 1 in 4 parents, 25%. That's not that much. Using the threat of no gifts to address their children's behavior during the holidays, a new survey finds. And that's already in, Lord, that's already built in to the old song. You're going to find out who's naughty and nice. Experts recommend positive reinforcement strategies for better results. Experts. But that's already built into it, because if you're naughty, then you don't get presents from Santa. But that's not really, that wasn't like meant to be so serious, because you're still going to get some presents, usually. Use positive reinforcement instead of threats for your child's misbehavior. So say the experts. And look, they have a picture of Santa Claus. If your child is misbehaving, experts recommend swapping threats or bribery for positive reinforcement. I thought bribery is positive reinforcement. Anyway. If your child is right in the line between naughty and nice, it may be holiday season. It's called Christmas. It may be tempting to use the impending threat of Santa withholding gifts as leverage to curb bad behavior. 1 in 4 parents of preschool-aged children have used Santa or the threat of no gifts to address misbehavior. Just swat them. C.S. Mott Children's Hospital National Poll. It can be a challenge for parents to know the best way is to handle problem children, especially when it's single mothers. So we wanted to explore approaches, blah, 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 said Dr. Susan, a woman, Woolford. Mott Poll co-director and pediatrician, a female children's doctor at University of Michigan. The poll surveyed 725 parents who had at least one child, 1 to 5, margin of error plus or minus 1 to 6 percentage points. More than half of them said they have used incentives or bribery to encourage good behavior. Experts warn that both threats and bribes can backfire, encouraging further misbehavior and causing stress for young kids. Another woman they cite, Dr. Michelle Janning, professor of sociology, far-left extremist sociology at Whitman College in Washington State. Even 5-year-olds look at each other in terms of what cool things they have, and if you don't get them a present you said you would, it creates a real threat in society where kids scrutinize each other. Oh, Lord, that's not something to kiss up to. What in the world? I didn't have Nintendo, and I was not jealous of my friends who had Nintendo. Or Sega Genesis. Or the cool dinosaur toys. I just wanted to go to their house and play with the toys sometimes. In the world. So don't promise, part of that is don't promise presents. Although half of parents polled said they are consistent with disciplining their children, others face challenges in establishing a routine. Child's too young, fear of public breakdowns, you know, your child embarrasses you because it's crying and making a scene. Find their strategies just aren't working. 31% of respondents apprehensive about disciplining their children in public for fear of tantrums. A concern that Janning, which one is Janning? Why are they using the last name for these women? It should be first name. Michelle, so-called Dr. Michelle, suggested may be amplified by the growing concern of negative judgment on social media. Indeed. People are just, as the Bible says, the man who doubts is blown and buffeted by the waves. And that means women, too. Blown and buffeted by the waves. Just insecure. There's a different kind of audience assumption about who's watching you and whether it will be scrutinized in a certain way, said Michelle. All the reels and TikTok videos of parents doing things to their kids. So stick to your planned strategies, this woman said. Another woman says, Wolford. Which one is Wolford? What was her first name? Why are you using last names for women? Susan. Susan said. I think parents would be really surprised how much empathy they may get from others in a store who could recall they had to deal with such situations. Avoid public outings when children are tired or hungry. Good idea. When they're tired. You know, it's funny because I heard and I observed it, and it was true, that when a kid is all excited, or a person, all excited and on a high, they're also going to have a low right after that. Angry or sad or upset. Because that's that, the higher the high, the lower the low. What? Commie nonsense with their advertisement. Commie capitalist advertisements. Threats don't work very well because parents tend not to follow through with them. Indeed, and they lose credibility. Like Obama lost credibility when he drew these red lines, and then they crossed the red lines, and he did nothing. It was a stupid red line anyway. Threats don't work because you lose credibility. Children learn there really won't be any consequence. And then, so you're some capricious false god to your kids in the world. By kids, I mean children, not baby goats. She encouraged parents to practice positive reinforcement, whatever, you haven't even defined it yet. Rather than saying, oh, what a good girl, you want to say, wow, that's so good how you helped mom pick up the toys. That's so condescending. Susan, Dr. Susan Wolford said, that's condescending. Be specific about the actions. Using specific statements will help them recognize which behaviors. If you want to do that, but be genuine about it. Don't be like condescending to your child. Hake with his parenting tips. Using specific statements will help children recognize which behaviors you want them to repeat. Blah, 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 blah. Training them like dogs. In addition, but shout out to the dogs and the kids and the evil parents. In addition to words of affirmation, some may use rewards as reinforcement. Wait, what's the difference between a reward and a bribe? If you're considering this route, be careful about the incentives. Food-related incentives such as candy, unhealthy associations. Don't use food as a reward or a threat to take it away, because in the long term, oh, what, you can't send them to bed without dinner? I was never sent to bed without dinner, but I always heard about it. And sometimes I wouldn't really mind because I didn't really like the dinner in the first place. But I would rather have like cereal or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich than have no food. As an alternative, use natural rewards from activities that your child already enjoys, such as more reading time. You get to read more. Lord. But I did like to read as a kid, actually, believe it or not. "40% of parents believe their techniques are highly successful. 57% feel they're only somewhat effective. Varies greatly with age and by child, because they're all pretty different sometimes. Some are easy, some are problemed kids." They reveal the mess. Some of them are just subdued, docile. They were born with a broken spirit. And some are just wild. They look to family, friends, child's other parent, the father or the mother. Parenting books. 1 in 8 said they haven't even thought about the discipline strategies they use. Nice. That might be the way. I'm not sure. 42% admit sometimes spanking their child. What's wrong with that? What do you mean admit? Experts don't recommend that. After a certain age, I don't recommend it. Many parents are under immense amount of stress. Well, you should cool off before you do it. If you spank, cool off before you spank. Don't spank in the heat of the, say you're mad? Anyway, that's what they say. Many parents under immense amount of stress. When I got spanked by my mother, it was more heated. By my father, it was just dispassionate. It was like, this is what you did, this is what you get. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Oops, I spit a little bit. Whereas at the mother, it was like, wah, 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 wah. It was a little bit more frustrated. But neither of them were really traumatizing. The anger came from other stuff. Unfairness, meddling, caving, pandering to the mother's emotions, that type of thing. Many parents are under, so I don't think that the spanking was, at a certain age, you don't want to be spanked. You don't want to be spanked when you're basically like a grown big kid. Many parents are under immense amount of stress, balancing concern, but I don't know, I don't have a strong opinion against or for spanking, but I don't really buy into all this positive reinforcement stuff. I remember Sean, the producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, talked about positive reinforcement, and he said it in a different way. I don't think that he realized, he didn't mean it in the liberal way, that these liberals use it. But just tell them what you want them to do, basically, was his way of saying it. Rather than saying, don't do this, saying, do this. Many parents are under immense amount of stress. Oh, yeah. Of their own creation, partly. And then society, how the crowd is having the mother's work. And now evil Joe Biden wants to do child care for all, universal child care. I say Joe Biden, but all the liberals. And did you know that you didn't used to have kindergarten? You didn't used to have kindergarten. But now everybody goes to kindergarten. By the time I was a kid, everybody went to kindergarten that I knew of. And I and others went to preschool before that. You go to school for like 2 years before you're in what they call first grade. How does that make sense? How does it make sense? It doesn't even make sense. You go to first grade, that should be your first year of school, maybe. But they have preschool and kindergarten. I learned some stuff in kindergarten. That was cool. Preschool, I don't remember that as much. I remember confrontations on the playground, around the covered portion over the slide. And I put my elbow out because I remember wearing my jacket, and there was some kid who was trying to confront me, and I put my elbow out. This is going to protect me. For kindergarten, there was this Asian kid who just kicked people. Like in the knees, that area. Shins, knees. He kicked people. That guy was ridiculous. And we swung on our belly, and the tattletale girl said, teacher says, don't be swinging from your belly. I'm like, what's wrong with that? I could do it. But I haven't swung from my belly since that point. My best friend and I, we were swinging from our belly. It was fun. There's nothing wrong with that. We had strong abdomens. It's not like we're going to get chopped in half or something. What is that? I guess it doesn't look right to an adult who's a worrying person, and it was a female teacher's. But they shouldn't have told us not. I don't think that was right. Wow, I've never swung from my belly since then, but we used to swing from our bellies all the time. You know, you're in the swing and you sit your rear on that sometimes. That's the boring, normal, typical way to do it. But you lay down on your belly on it, and that's fun. It's funner. It's different. They don't let us be different. Those parents needing extra help. The Susan woman, they call her Wolford, recommended consulting your child's primary care doctor or utilizing. What? Who wrote this? The common theme is that utilize is not a necessary word. It's an unnecessary word. Juliana Bragg. I'll get you next time, Juliana Bragg. Utilizing some American Academy of Pediatrics parenting site. The American Academy of Pediatrics is evil. I heard about them just recently. Pediatricians are a good resource, even when someone's just thinking about what their discipline plan would be, says Susan. Not just when problems. I like her sentence fragment. Not just when problems. That's how I talk too. Shout out. Susan's so normal. And then who's the Janning person? I'm forgetting her name already. Oh, this is bothering me. Michelle. Dr. Michelle Janning said, also advise parents to follow their instincts. Okay, all right. Adapt to their approaches based on their unique family needs. Parents should go easier on themselves and stop shaming each other because it's a hard enough job as it is, she said. What are the comments saying? Hopefully they don't cuss. Using Santa to get your kids to behave. Maybe okay on occasion. Honestly, the whole Santa thing only teaches them not to trust you, says this CNN user, Pimmy X1. Don't threaten them with no toys or that you'll take away their toys as punishment on Christmas. My parents did that, and to this day, I honestly hate Christmas. My sister's the same. Christmas should be fun and a time to love each other unconditionally. Oh, man. I remember I got yelled on Christmas because my grandma, one of my grandmas, gave me a purple sweater. I'm like, purple? It was just a natural response. I've told this story before, and I got in trouble because that was rude to say. But I don't think I was wrong thinking back. It wasn't that bad of trouble. I just got scolded in the car. And you know, you don't expect to be scolded, and all of a sudden you get scolded. It's like, Instead, it's a commercial and way too expensive. When you use it as discipline, that sets conditions on your love. It's not necessarily love to let kids be kids. Discipline them appropriately without using a holy day to show your dominance. Another CNN user says, Dr. Janning, you mean Michelle, I think. Even 5-year-olds look at it. Yeah, thank you for jumping on this. Even 5-year-olds look at each other in terms of what cool things they have, and if you don't get them a present you said you would, it creates a real threat in society where kids scrutinize each other. If a parent places their disciplining on the potential scrutiny of another 5-year-old, there's something seriously wrong with the parent. Perhaps the most critical thing in raising a child, after all, is teaching them to resist peer pressure. Yeah, not to need to keep up with the Joneses. Give me a break. Which is almost always negative. Thank you, CNN user. I need to sign in. Another CNN user, teaching children to believe in fairy tales. First step towards getting them to believe in an invisible God, supposedly the cause and savior to everything good or bad that occurs to a person with supposed free will. Somebody gave them a thumbs down. It wasn't me. Keep your negativity out of the CNN comment section. Hey, they brought comment sections back. Look at that guy. He needed to get spanked. I remember when they got rid of comment sections. Now they're bringing them back. That's cool. There was something that I wanted to say. It's not that important. Probably. But that is a nice picture. Kind of. That's too luxurious. Man, oh man, look at that. What is that material? I know it's probably a painting, right? Or an AI. Not a real actual photograph, but that is... I'm looking at this picture of supposedly Santa Claus, and his red suit has some shininess to it. It's like a velvety red. Parents, that's kind of encouraging parents and children to be subject to the judgment of one another. Oh, yeah. Okay. The pediatricians. The pediatricians, they're disgusting. They're evil. American Society of American Academy of Pediatrics. Is that what we read about in the past before, like relatively recently? What was this? Talking about children and hormone blockers. This was yeah, okay, I think this is it. This is the drama. Trans kids. This was from, what day was that? This past Thursday. Look at all this trans propaganda. Blanketly denying health care to people who need it. I read this to you just last week. Just because of a biased notion against transgender people is wrong, said that Adam Smith lame-o. And I think that when I clicked into this, American Academy of Pediatrics. This is what I told you guys just last week. So you're going to look to the American Academy of Pediatrics for your parenting and discipline stuff when they have in their guidelines that waiting until kids are adults to transition, so-called, is outdated. They say it's outdated. And they believe in this fake idea of like binary notions of gender in which gender diversity and fluidity is pathologized. American AAP publications, Pediatrics, ensuring comprehensive care and support for transgender and gender diverse children and adolescents. The author has said he has no potential conflicts of interest to disclose, no financial relationships relevant to this article to disclose, supposedly. So this Jason Rafferty, MD, Committee on Psychological Aspects of Child and Family Health, blah, 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 blah. Look at all these people. This policy statement was reaffirmed August 2023. Traditionally underserved population, that's a liberal buzzword, faces numerous health disparities. Youth who identify as transgender and gender diverse, TGD, transgender, gender diverse, TGD, and their families, so-called, increasingly presenting to pediatric providers for education, care, and referrals. Need more formal training, standardized treatment, research on safety and medical outcomes often leaves providers feeling ill-equipped to support and care for patients, who identify as transgender, gender diverse, and families. A mess. Pushing the LGBT agenda. Lack of access to quality health care, inequitable laws and policies, disparities. Look at all these communist buzzwords. How embarrassing. I thought you were talking about real actual health. No, they're not. Pediatric. Pediatric means they're serving children. That's some sick stuff. Youth, transgender and gender diverse, and their families. Terrible lies. So, sometimes these people, with the feedback on what was that word that they're using? Discipline. You can take their advice, but with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. You can hear them out, but they're crazy. FYI. Just as dumb as you. I was shocked when I found out that the FBI are a bunch of dumb liberals. And they are. They're just dumb liberals. Yeah, they know stuff, but they're dumb liberals. Same thing with these people. FYI, as you may realize. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. I'd like to get to Joe in Phoenix, Arizona on the line over here. Joe, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Good morning, James.
Morning.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. I mean, it's kind of... It's a little breaking up.
Get you off speaker there. Is that better?
Yeah, thank you.
All righty. So I tell you, I get busy for a few days, and you let the Keystone Cops run wild on your show.
How so?
With the stupidity and racism, I tell you.
Racism? Come on.
Absolutely.
Why are you using outdated language like racism?
Outdated, okay. So yet another study for you. Brock University in Ontario. People who subscribe to racist or hate-filled ideologies are just plain dumb.
So what? Yeah, so don't be hateful.
And resistance to change.
Right. Why are you resisting changing your outdated vernacular on
Nice try to spin there, James. So what I keep hearing with your Keystone Cops is, I just want things to be how they used to be, So textbook, resistance to change. And that's the whole thing about, these AGs are not qualified. The Tish James, the Alvin Braggs, the Fani Willis, all right? What they're really saying is, these are black people with powerful positions and power in their jobs. And they don't like that because you have a Harvard grad, a Columbia grad, an Emory grad, people who run elections to become AGs. But yet wait a minute, they're black, so they can't be qualified. That's the only reason why they're saying that.
That's not true.
Because it absolutely is true, because it doesn't subscribe to their worldview.
That's not a very bright statement to say, Joe from Phoenix.
100% accurate.
No, it isn't.
Accurate. Because if you look at the objective facts, these are highly qualified people who won elections to get their roles.
That doesn't mean anything.
That is not unqualified.
No, they are unqualified.
In what way,
do people ever elect unqualified people to office who are
According
educated?
To you, no, because couldn't be more unqualified than Trump, but he's president.
Right, and he graduated from a university. He's quite educated, and people voted for him, and so
he lied about it.
Are you saying that he's unqualified, even though people voted for him?
About being number one. That was easy to check.
Are you saying that he's unqualified though?
Oh, absolutely, he's unqualified.
Although he is educated, and people elected him, he's unqualified.
Okay, so you're saying it's theoretical. Give me an example of how those three AGs are unqualified, James.
They're liberals who hate Trump, and they have a black shameless mindset of going after Trump in ways that the whites were too ashamed to go after him. The white liberals who hate Trump were too ashamed to go after him.
No proof of any of that.
But you have no proof. You have no proof of your hatred of Trump. So they have the proof that these people shamelessly went after Trump. They're liberals, which is ridiculous to be liberal.
You continue to show your ignorance of the grand jury process. They did not indict Trump. Grand juries indicted Trump.
I know, but they went after Trump.
Because he committed crimes.
No, because they're liberals who hate Trump. They wanted to
pretend... They could not have gone after him if he didn't commit crime.
No, of course they could, because they're trying to find a crime that he committed, and so they went after him.
Wrong on all counts there.
No,
in New York,
that's not wrong.
Multiple people.
Just admit that you have a difference of opinion from my Keystone Cop callers, and not that.
Not opinion. It's fact, James.
It's opinions.
No, it's facts.
No, you didn't give me any facts.
Convicted
because you don't know.
34 for guilty verdict.
Right, but you don't
That's a
know
fact.
you don't know their motive for calling these people unqualified, but you just deemed it because you think you're a mind reader.
They betray their own words. They want things to be how it used to be.
Right, because there was a little bit of sense in how things
There was
used to be.
No sense at all, because they had no facts to say that they're unqualified. None.
I just gave you my reasoning for why I call them unqualified.
Which is your opinion.
Right. And so why are you getting all mad because we have an opinion?
No, you're welcome to your opinion. It's not fact. It's an opinion.
It's based on an obvious reality. Everybody knew that they're going after Trump because Trump was one man standing for some sense in the government. They don't care about crimes. Give me a break. You cannot indict someone in a grand jury process unless they have actual proof, James. Proof of committed crimes. I don't care. That was not the motive.
There you go.
Right.
That's your answer.
Yeah.
You don't care that he committed crimes, but he did.
But he didn't commit any crimes that anybody cares about.
Again, your opinion.
Name one crime that he committed that you care about.
I absolutely care about falsification of business records because that defrauds the entire system. And as I've tried to open your eyes over the last few months, white-collar crime destroys economies, destroys societies, as Milton Friedman tried to enlighten you as well.
So you think that Trump was destroying society?
One small part of it, absolutely.
No, I don't buy that.
White-collar crime absolutely does that, and it's not just me saying that. Milton Friedman tells you that also.
So then you shouldn't be for all these blacks getting their affirmative action because they're more shameless about committing white-collar crime according to the statistics I've heard.
You have never heard me support affirmative action, not once, not ever. I never had to use it. I don't support it in anybody else either.
Nice.
I was always, well, not quite top of my class, but darn near close to it.
Nice.
With no help from anybody. Exactly. So.
Right on.
And I actually helped when I lived in California. When I was in grad school, I actually helped Ward Connolly's efforts.
Who's that? I forget.
Ward Connolly is one of the main spearheads that spearheaded the getting rid of affirmative action in California there.
Nice. Based.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
But again, the actions of your Keystone Cops are not just opinions, James. It's wholeheartedly proving these multiple studies showing that if you're a racist, you're just plain dumb.
Yeah, so don't stop being dumb.
No, the Keystone Cops are dumb, James, not me.
They may be dumb, but you're dumb too.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, that's your opinion. You're welcome to it.
Thank you. Shout out.
Contrary
I don't
to all
mind
the
dumb
facts.
people. What's wrong with being dumb sometimes?
What's wrong with being dumb?
Yeah.
It's lazy, and it's violent, and it leads to a lot of pain and suffering in the world. That's what's wrong with being dumb.
So then don't be so judgmental and quick to judge.
No, I'm going to be quick to judge because these are people who, again, are pining for days gone by.
But
days
so
gone
what?
by that were not good for people like me.
You don't know that.
About it.
You don't know that.
I do know that. James, I know history. You don't. I do know that.
I know a little bit of history, and you know some communist versions of history.
You always have your spin. It's wonderful.
What?
That you always have your spin. It's absolutely, I mean, I find it amusing now more than anything.
Nice.
Yeah. But again, Keystone Cops, those days are gone and never coming back. Too bad for you. Either get with the times or I don't know what.
Get with God.
Figure yourself out or something.
Get with God,
Yeah, right.
not the times, because the times are evil. The times are so ridiculous. What do you think about them? The Times having the American Academy of Pediatrics promoting the trans agenda for kids.
Well, you and I have talked about it before. The whole trans thing is awful. It's the reason why I can't stand Black Lives Matter, BLM either, because they are a radically gay group.
But get this.
I'm against that.
But get this. They couldn't come out with their opinions if they didn't have research to back up their opinions. So they have research behind it, and you're just poo-pooing their research because you don't care about their research. Is that true?
Not true at all, no.
You
I would need to look into their so-called research. And this gender-affirming care nonsense has only been around for, I'd say, the last decade, maybe two. So I don't think it's accurate. I'd have to look into it a lot more before I could make an informed opinion on it. But I guess my gut reaction is I don't think it's accurate.
But you already know, without even having to look at their research, that their conclusion is false to support the trans kids.
That's the difference between you and I. If I actually look into things and do my research before absolutely saying one way or the other.
So you don't absolutely know that the trans kids thing is insane? Shout out.
Well, the trans kids, I mean, no, kids don't know anything when they're kids. So that, you know, if some little girl comes home and says, I'm a boy, they don't know. They're a little kid. They don't know anything.
Right.
And no one should be feeding into that or telling them that, oh, yeah, you're right, and we need to give you care. No. Again, it all comes back to having good fathers in the homes, period.
This reasoning is the same reasoning that we have in rejecting the anti-racism propaganda stuff.
False conflation, James. False conflation.
No, because they reject common sense and reality.
Absolutely not. Calling those AGs unqualified is just based on their skin color alone and not based on any kind of reality.
Are they liberal? Wait. Are they liberal?
I have no idea if they're liberal or not.
Those AGs are pretty liberal.
Based on what? Do you know their voting record?
No, I don't. I don't know their voting record. That's not how I judge a liberal.
How are you judging it then?
They hate Trump, and they're Democrats. They're liberal.
First of all, you don't even know that they hate Trump. They're simply doing their job, prosecuting crime. Yeah. That's all they're doing.
Simply doing their job. You're just making stuff up.
Process means.
You're giving them a whole lot of credit for being dispassionate, objective. Anyway, I got to run. Sleepy Joe in Phoenix. Shout out.
All right. Fastest James in L.A. All right. Shout out.
Whatever. Take care.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye. What a mess. Now he's calling me fat. I called him sleepy, and he escalates to call me fascist. I don't even know what that means. Because I like authority, maybe? I like the proper authority, like Trump. But Trump is for freedom. Ari in Canada is on the line. Ari, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, thank you are.
Hey.
Hi, man. I'm just calling to say, I've been a caller before.
Yeah.
I'm just calling to say happy holidays to you and hope you have easy show, you and JPL. I didn't get a chance to speak to him this morning.
No worries. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Are you Muslim? Or what are you, out of curiosity?
No, I'm the Hanukkah one, bro.
Jewish. Nice.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah to you. When is that happening?
Actually, I think the first time in a bit, it's the same night as baby Jesus' birthday.
Oh, really? I don't think that anybody actually believes, unless they're... I mean, I grew up not knowing that wasn't necessarily Jesus' birthday.
That's what we were told. I mean, as Jews, that's what we were told.
Yeah. I mean, we celebrate that's when we celebrate that he was born, but we're not thinking, oh, this was the actual day. But anyway, yeah, that's funny.
Hey, baby. Sorry, my baby's talking. And then also,
hey.
I had a okay, baby, 1 second.
Cute.
I had a quick question. That's my little daughter. Which actually is leading me to the next question. I got my hands full with the baby, so I wasn't able to get a full understanding of the article that you just pulled up there.
Okay.
With the genderism or Satanism.
Oh, okay.
Well, what's that about? I just would like to give a comment on that.
Okay, so the American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending that young people transition at a very young age rather than wait to be adults. It sounded according to CNN, they're calling it outdated. Yeah.
Oh, outdated. I see.
They're calling it outdated.
They want to start younger?
Yeah, they want them to transition younger, so-called transition.
Oh, that sounds like demonic craft.
Yeah, I think so too.
Wow. Okay, and then what? Okay, my question is, who are they? Like, do they have any pull whatsoever, or is it just their opinion being broadcasted on the fake news? Like the academy, do they actually have pull in what goes on with the youth?
They have studies. I don't know. I haven't really looked into their studies, but the idea, I think, the underlying idea is, say, if you want to be a woman, but your voice drops and other things drop and you develop like a man, it's tougher for you to be passing as a woman than if you remain with the kid body parts. You remain like a kid. Then you can, little kids are not too much, not as distant from women as a man is from a woman. So it's easier to so-called transition them to make them look the part.
At a younger age, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss in your show. My bad. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
That really upset me. Oh, okay, so that's what that's about. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it is. It's messed up thinking.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. Like, I always wondered what the word Democrats mean. And then, like I said, maybe it's 2 words. It's demonic acts. Right?
Yeah, right.
So I was like, but yeah, no, that's totally a left thing though, right? Like the whole academy, they're all liberals probably there?
Yeah, overall, it's the academic world and the science world has been infiltrated by liberals. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
So you just know not to, you know that their whole mindset and their whole assessment of reality is messed up.
Yeah, no, that's totally messed up. I hope it doesn't have any pull. But isn't Trump making all that illegal anyway? Like, aren't they all going to lose their license?
I doubt it. No, because Trump is not a fascist, unfortunately. He can't just make everybody lose their license just because we see that they're dumb. You have to.
No, but he's saying a man is a man, a woman is a woman.
Right.
Right, and I'm pretty sure one of his speeches, he's like that they're going to end all that, and any school that says otherwise, that they'll be defunded. Right. Etc. and lose their licenses. I don't know about that.
Because there are schools, there's local districts that want to push this agenda, push the different bathrooms, push undermining the parents' wishes and sneaking around and doing things behind the backs of the parents. And it is a mess. He did say that he would go after child transitioning. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm saying, yeah, in Canada, it's really, really bad here when it comes to that.
Yeah, I bet.
They got more pull than the right do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We need somebody like Trump over here.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, Hank, I just want to know what that was about, and I appreciate you taking the call.
Yeah.
Happy holidays to you and your family, and let JPL know Ari from Canada says what's up.
Sounds good, man. Thank you, Ari.
All right, man.
Take care.
Appreciate it, bro. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye. Nice. That's a guy who's saying happy holidays well-meaning. He means it. Shout out to the Jews. CSAL in Texas, Tejas, on the line over here. CSAL, how you doing?
Hola, Hakester.
Hey.
I am doing well, thank you. And you guys, how's your holidays going?
Going well. I went and saw some family actually just over the weekend, so it was cool.
That's nice. I haven't seen my family in some time, but hopefully we'll go see them soon. I wanted to call. That was a really good. That was a really interesting article you were reading
about discipline, child discipline as a parent. That one.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It said a lot. I was listening to you, and I wanted to make some points, but it's too much now. So, but basically, what I remember is one of the things was like, "Oh, don't use Santa as a threat."
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like children are young. If you discipline them and they learn to, respect you and listen to you, you don't have to use Santa or cookies or else.
Right.
If they know that you're being serious, that you go through with your, don't do that, there will be consequences. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't really remember. I was a kid, and my siblings and I, we were all kids together. I was one of the youngest, and I don't remember us really being a problem to my parents. Although my mother said we had 3 or 4 different little monsters, but we were all okay. We respected her to some level. We respected my dad more. We feared my dad more. But we pretty much did what they said to do. And sometimes we were mad about it, but we would do it. And it wasn't, you hardly even had to spank us, but sometimes we did get spanked. But it was, I don't know. It's great. It seems like parents are kind of kids now themselves.
What I've noticed from the parents that I know is that they don't want to spank the kids. They don't want to discipline the kids or yell or whatever, which yelling is not right, but sometimes a stern, warning is okay.
Right.
And they suffer for it. And I don't blame, people not wanting to have children. Because if you have to tell your toddler to get off the table 70 times, it's going to be torture raising a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But sometimes you just be patient with them, because patience is really just endless, I think.
Yes, but I think the easier route would be don't get on the table, and if you do, I'm going to spank you. As simple as that. And if they do, then you spank them, and they learn really quick.
Nice.
They learn quick.
True. That makes sense.
So it's so much easier for the parents.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I just wanted to say also for Christmas for the kids, we got them a ball pit. You know how when you used to go to McDonald's, there was this huge ball pit and it was amazing?
Oh yeah, we had one at Chuck E. Cheese. That was so fun. You could just dive in.
Yeah, well, we didn't get the gigantic one, but the kids love it, and it's not super expensive, and it's not, it's not like video games or anything like that, and the kids love it.
Nice. It's more active. True. That's cool.
Right.
So
yeah, they're here right now.
That's pretty sweet because I know that a lot of people are doing the trampolines, but this sounds more even cooler than trampolines because everybody has trampolines now. Oh, she's breaking up.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
My terrible connection. Yeah, then I'm teaching my kids, our kids, I'm like, tell Daddy thank you for your hard work.
Oh, you tell them that?
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah. To appreciate the hard work of their father and respect him and love him instead of giving that credit to Santa, like what the heck?
That's funny. When I was a kid, I was never told to appreciate my dad, but my dad worked at home for the most part when I was a kid. I remember him working. I remember him sitting at the table and working, or being at his desk, his messy desk, and working. And I was like, man, he has a good work ethic. I remember that, but I don't remember being taught so much to say please and thank you. I remember being taught that just on some level, but not necessarily like that, because you don't want it to be artificial or a training.
Right,
thing.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
There was a great point made by somebody in church a week or two ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Frankie actually said that when he would give his little goddaughters something, the brightness of their face told him his thank you. But then the mother came in, or the grandma, and said, say thank you, and they ruin it. So you want to be careful with that training to appreciate your dad.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally see that. I was going to say something else. What else was I going to say? I forgot. My brain is shot.
What do you think about Joe calling us dumb racists for calling those Alvin Bragg and Fani Willis and that other woman, that big woman, unqualified. In part because they're black. Part of it is because they're black. It's not entirely not just, I mean, the black thing does have something to do with it. There is this culture of affirmative action that he fights, but he doesn't seem to realize that it's still in there.
He's looking around who have eyes to see.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out, CSAL.
I'm sorry.
You must be under the
hood.
Is that better? That's better now. I heard you say you said something about people who have eyes to see.
Yeah. So if Joe makes me tune out automatically when Joe comes in, I kind of just space out, and I wash the dish and do the stuff around the house that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But so I don't really pay that much attention to what he says. But
yeah.
Joe, of course, he's gonna call us that, and he's gonna call us whatever. They don't see. I don't think the evil blocks their eyes from really seeing the truth and what's happening.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
What Joe says.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate your call, CSAL. Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call, Hake.
And have a fun Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody over there.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
That's cool. That's funny. They tuned Joe out. Joe, you're getting tuned out. Before I get back to calls, I got to get to the super chats. Oh, man. I'm going to have to censor some of these. Terrible. Look at these. Okay. Let me get... Oh, okay, cool. Deplorable Dave says, James, I disavow how you don't always read everyone's chats, including mine. JLP always has time for his supporters. What a big mess. I said, thanks, man. I don't know what you're referring to. He says, James, thanks for the update. Carry on with the show. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Deplorable Dave from Rosamond, California. Very nice. What's up, Sam, Manuel? Little Rock, It Man. Based America First, bought a coffee. Kathy Hochul, governess of New York. He calls her governor. I don't know if he calls her governor, but that's what she's called by the liberals. Is pretending to be Santa Claus when she's the Grinch buying votes using other people's money. How so? Inflation increased the cost of everyday goods, and sales tax has raked in the cash. Instead of reducing taxes, New York politicians created a program to give $300 to taxpayers earning less than $150,000 and $500 to taxpayers earning between $150,000 and $300K. Wow, measly $300. Nothing is more nimble, cuts costs, and fights inflation quite like yet another government program. Hochul cares so much for New York citizens in urgent need that payments will begin next September. Oh, Lord. What a mess. Next September, is that around the time of, when is her election, I wonder? Wow. Kathy Hochul. Look at that face. Is that a natural face? Is she a natural-faced woman? You know how a lot of ladies and guys, 66 years old, something doesn't look natural about that face. Married her husband, William Hochul Jr. in 1984. Kathleen Hochul. At least she has the same last name as her husband. Hopefully he didn't take it, her last name. A member of the Democrat Party. First female governess. While I'm on this, I'm curious. Fani Willis. Is she a Democrat? Yep, she's a Democrat. That's a liberal. Alvin Bragg. Is he a Democrat? Yep, he's a Democrat. Quick Googling, proving that they're liberals. What a mess. That's a reference because Joe was trying to say there's no proof that they're liberals. What proof? Or trying to challenge whether they're liberals when I said that they're liberals. What a mess. Kathy Hochul. It should still be, what's his name? Being there. You know what I mean? It should be that other Cuomo governor. That Cuomo governor was no good either. But that's a mess. Thank you for the tip. Based America first. And another super chat that I got to censor from this person. Little Rocket, man. You've been a good boy by actually reading my super chats, so here's a much-needed break from me. Before I go, do you believe in the Trinity? Depends on what you mean by Trinity. What do you think about the thorns that were placed on his head? Thoughts on the devil? They called it a crown of thorns, and it was like a crown because he's king of the Jews. Thoughts on the devil? The devil is evil. What's been your favorite interaction with me? Please. What a vain person, man. I find you a vain person. But shout out. Aren't we all? We all got to overcome that mess. Finally, can please say those names of the callers I love and the ones I don't like? No, we don't do the shout out stuff. You got to chill out with that. I love to know how such and such, such and such, such and such and such and such others feel about me. Isn't that interesting? Jesse Lee doesn't care what Jason thinks of him, but this person is all into finding out what these other callers think of him. That's vain. How vain. Don't be vain. The Bible speaks against vanity. You know? Doesn't matter if a child looks like an adult. If you know the child is a minor, then that's sick. I'm not for sex out of wedlock anyways. If you know the child is a minor, that's sick. If something's your mother, would you not try to avenge her? I don't know. That's crazy. What are these crazy living in your imagination? I think that that's a poison. It's a trap to try to tell people to put yourself in your imagination in somebody else's shoes. Oh, imagine if that happened to your mother. To put you in your imagination and emotions, to get your morals or morality or sense of right and wrong from your emotions and how you would feel and your imagination about how you think that you would feel if this were to happen. That's ill-advised. I almost said stupid, but I don't want to say stupid too much in front of the kids. Ill-advised, dumb. The Bible does say stupid about something else. Related, though, I think. That's a strong love. If someone blah, 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 or blah, 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 you're willing to give your life. That's a strong love. Cult. Also, you bleep out curse words, but say bathhouses. Yikes. Well, how is bathhouse a cuss word? I barely even really have an idea what a bathhouse is. Bathhouse. Tell Nick to stop driving and being on the phone. Talk about something with cops. Bye, James. Stay away from playgrounds. You need to be on a list. If you ever want to fight, I'm down. And some word for extra wife thing. What a mess. But thank you. Much appreciated. Isn't that true that people are people get into their imaginations and get into their emotions and they think that that's what informs them on right and wrong? I can understand that something just seems off, for example, about gay, that type of thing, or the trans kids. There's something in you, there's something even in Joe that just knows that there's something wrong with it. Even a child knows there's something off. Weird. With those abnormal things. But you don't just go based on like how you think that you would feel if it were to happen to you or whatever. A mess. Talk about changing the subject. Manuel over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. You let Joe off the hook about his lies about segregation in national parks. All of a sudden, he got dementia. I appreciate Joe, though. He's compared me to the whites. Definitely a compliment, he says. Yeah. You know, he is... What I chalk it up to when he was talking about the national parks thing, because you pounced on that thing and kind of cleared the situation. I forgot about the national parks thing. But he says that they faced whatever in practice. De facto, right? De facto Jim Crow or de facto segregation or de facto discrimination. De facto, it's happening. Like de facto, Obama got elected because he's black and a dumb liberal. It's very important that you be a dumb liberal too, evil liberal. Otherwise, you're not going to get elected as a black. I mean, some of the conservatives get all excited when there's a black too, because they have adopted the liberal evil kiss-up culture. Oh, a black. But Obama got in there because he's black. That's called de facto affirmative action. Affirmative action president. DEI president. Because he's not qualified. Qualified to destroy the country and divide the country because the country's already divided. Kind of exposed the division and exploited the division and stoked lies and hatred. De facto. So de facto, these people did have probably a little bit of discrimination in national parks if they even bothered to go. And then, oh yeah, because some of those black soldiers went there and then they helped build Yosemite and then they couldn't get in. I don't know if they couldn't get in. Joe does lie. That's true. He does, or he speaks without knowing oftentimes. He'll just say something. Just like how he said that I don't like Obama because he's black. Psst, please. That's one of the things I like about Obama is that he's black. Other than that, I don't like him. Shout out. Anyway, thank you, sir. Pardon me for going easy on Joe. I'm kind of like CSAL. I tune out on some level, and maybe I should pay better attention. Sam bought a coffee, and then I'll get back to your calls, guys. Hang tight. When you're lost, it's best to be still so that you may be found, says James Hake. Well said, Bread. Excuse the lack of pithiness, but I would like to apologize for a comment I made a few coffees ago. I said some of your callers were wrong concerning the info on Marvin Gaye, when the truth is I am not sure of what really happened. I was not there. I'm only going based off trustworthy, quote-unquote, sources, he says. You mentioned how he can make such beautiful songs of peace when he was violent towards his father. I wasn't thinking necessarily... Yeah, okay, true, yeah. He was depressed, suicidal, abusing drugs, longing for peace because he was without it. He was full of anger towards his father, in whom he was a pastor, abusive, and a cross-dresser. He attacked his father, is that true? In an attempt to defend his mama, while stopping him, his mother pulled him away and led him back into his room. His father then entered the room and shot him with the same gun he had purchased for him to defend himself with, ironically. When his brother ran upstairs to bloody Marvin Gaye, not the cuss word, English kids, Marvin Gaye being all, anyway, bloody. But not the cuss word. Don't say that, kids, English kids. He said, I got what I wanted. I couldn't do it myself, so I made him do it. Whoa, is that true? So according to him, I don't know where he's getting that. What he calls trustworthy sources. Drop the anger, kids. Yeah. Good advice. Good advice. Samuel, appreciate that. Sam, Is it Samuel or Sam? Sam. You know, you remind me of Sam Cooke. I was talking to a pal, talking about Sam Cooke. And Sam Cooke, he was cooked. He was into women, I guess, they say, according to Wikipedia. And he was at a motel, and this woman who was with him allegedly robbed him and took even his clothes. And so he went and confronted the female motel owner, accusing the female motel owner, as I recall this story that I read, accusing the female motel owner of colluding to set him up to be robbed. Sam Cooke is a black singer, or was a black singer. He's gone now, but his great songs remain. This female motel owner shoots him, supposedly in self-defense. I don't think she was charged. Shoots him dead. Shot him dead. All because he couldn't stay away from the ladies and he got overheated, allegedly, according to this story. I don't know if it's true. About being robbed by one of these so-called ladies. And he was a Christian. He used to sing gospel songs, you know. And they weren't those lame gospel songs that just repeated Jesus, Jesus, Jesus over and over again. It was actually kind of nice. What a mess. So thank you for your coffee, Sam, on Marvin Gaye. And what else did he talk about? Marvin Gaye, another great singer. And nice. Thank you. Be still so you can be found. There was this quote that Sean, the former greatest producer of the JLP show, said, and I heard it again in this 10 coffees, very generous. Thank you, Sam. I heard it again on this show that he recommended, Sean. They said, all your problems, all of a man's problems come from his inability to sit alone in a room. And it was some quote. And isn't that so? You bring this trouble upon yourself. What a mess. Ugh. It's crazy. So thank you, sir. Kindly appreciate it. And shout out to Manuel for the coffee, the correction on the national parks thing. Samuel on it, he's one of my fact checkers. Fact checking Joe. Sometimes it helps when you have a little help. If you're one to tune out or go unconscious or whatever, to realize, oh, because these lies slip by. Slippery, slimy Snake Joe. And he may not even realize what a snake he is, because sometimes you believe your own lies, or you're too proud and you're used to refraining from answering the question. You're used to deviating from the question, which is something that he does. Not answering the question directly. That's one thing I appreciate about JLP is he will ask the question until it's answered or until the person directly says, I don't want to answer. Because people will talk all around it. I was listening to church yesterday, and the guy talked all around the question. That's been a frustration of me with some of my guests, my wordier guests that I've had on the show. They will give this, I asked for like a yes or no question. Simple, because I want to move on to the next thing. And they talk and talk and talk all around it, and they don't really know the answer to it. JLP doesn't always answer that way, Hake. Yeah, true. You don't always answer that way. But sometimes for clarity, or you get to the root of what they're really asking sometimes, because people don't necessarily know what they're asking, or they are missing a point with their question. They're missing the point. I can get that. I can definitely understand that. So much going on in the world. Shout out to Based America First for that Kathy Hochul thing. Okay. Let me get to some calls, guys. Andrew in Scotland is on the line here. Andrew, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up? Are you there? Andrew, come off of mute. You might be on mute. Let me put Andrew on hold. Check. Thank you, man. William, at long last, in California. Are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Good to hear from you. What's up?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Oh, okay. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well, man.
All right. Just from a common sense point of view, and this is not coming from the right or the left media, is that these DEI hires and Fani Willis and all of them,
yeah,
they're really not good hires.
And what makes you say that?
Because the blacks have a habit of lying. You know, so that, I mean, they'll sit up there and they'll say, "Why don't you support your black people?" They're not my black people. I'm black. I'm an individual.
Right. You know, you're bringing up something that came up earlier in the show. Joe from Phoenix was addressing how some of my what he calls Keystone Cops callers, and I think it's cute to call them that, have called Fani Willis, for example, unqualified. But Joe from Phoenix himself has admitted that Fani Willis acted all black attitude, black angry woman, sassy, shameless attitude in the courtroom. So these are not qualified. That alone would make her unqualified because she can't conduct herself properly.
Well, I mean, she's all tied up into the black church caucus, whatever you want to call it, out there in Georgia. There's a big following with that.
That's right. She's like, she's quoting, "For such a time as this," or "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." That's right. Fani Willis, the one woman who's going after Trump, is quoting the Bible because she's attracting hate. People are hating her. And shame on them for hating her. We're not supposed to hate an evil person.
Yeah, well, the thing about it, James, is it's very old news to me. I've never been on board with their stuff.
Right.
As you know, I'll get hit for that. They call that self-hate. It ain't no self-hate. It's just that I don't believe anything that comes out your mouth. Look at the Tawana Brawley with Al Sharpton. You got Hawk Newsom the other day.
Black Lives Matter guy. What was Tawana Brawley? You brought up Tawana Brawley, and that's different from the Duke Lacrosse case. The Duke Lacrosse case was this woman, Crystal Mangum. I wasn't familiar with her name, but I knew the Duke Lacrosse thing.
I remember the case.
What was Tawana Brawley? Which one is that? That's another lie from the 90s?
80s or 90s. She ran away from home. She's just a young teenager that ran away from home, and Al Sharpton I think he incited a riot with that, and she lied and said that some white people raped her, and she never recovered.
And when I search Tawana Brawley, Al Sharpton's fat face comes up. Oh, what did I just do?
Of course. And, they lie about a lot of different things, like Black Wall Street. That's been rebuilt. You got nothing coming there. You got nothing coming for reparations. You got no stimulus check coming because Joe didn't get reelected.
Wait a minute. Help. Wait. Nick, is my show going? What happened to my show? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
I did something, and I don't know why I went black on the program.
Did you press FTB?
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
See, look at this.
How do I turn that off?
FTB.
I hit it, but
again.
Okay.
FTB.
Fade to black. Okay, so
cuts off all the audio. Pardon me, guys. I accidentally blacked out the. Thank you, Nick. Oh,
you back on?
Yeah, I'm such a boomer, says he Black, and that's true. Oh man.
You said his face popped up. Yeah. The girl that accused the lacrosse team lies. Black Wall Street lies. Trump is not to be messed with. He won that $15 million. $1 million is going to the legal team, and the rest is going to a foundation of his choice. And it's, since he won the election, a lot of these things are getting ready to happen, lawsuits and whatnot. Fani Willis and all these people, when that election was won and secured, all these different people knew that they were in trouble.
Yeah. Interesting.
And it's over.
It's crazy how many different lying cases Al Sharpton's been a part of, and he just jumps on all the lies. That's crazy.
He does.
Every decade.
And didn't you think Hawk Newsom kind of softly incited a riot? Said, let's get some black vengeance. You what? Dude, you're trying to be the next up?
Hawk Newsom, he also got fat out of nowhere. Look how fit he looks here. And then look how fat he is on the other thing. And he uses supposedly reasonable, let's be together, let's not hate each other,
James,
Black Lives Matter
that.
guy.
He is not reasonable, James.
I know.
He's not reasonable.
But he plays like he is.
I'm not afraid of him or saying anything about him. He's as phony as they come. He wants to be the next up. I think it's him and his sister. They're jumping on these podcasts and news stations.
Wow.
And basically tried
Look
to
how
say,
fat
let's
he got.
start a riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got pretty puffed up.
Right. Yeah. And just like all the other angry Black Lives Matter people and Al Sharpton, although they
That's all them stimmy checks.
Stimulus checks.
On the economic side, there's a guy out here
Servant
in
of God.
California that owns about 3 or 4 McDonald's. Now, remember, Trump always snubbed. He always turned his nose at the minimum wage issue.
Trump did?
He raised the wage, not the minimum wage. The minimum wage is a recipe for a layoff.
Yeah. Interesting.
And there's a guy out in California. He owns 3 or 4 McDonald's. He didn't just lay off because of this $20 an hour minimum wage. He didn't just do layoffs. He had to actually close one of his stores. That's how serious that is about raising that minimum wage. It's a recipe for unemployment.
Yeah. Obviously.
There are people down the street from me. They got kids and they got a maid. I know a few people that got maids. Here's the deal, James. Minimum wage, you know what? You're not going to pay the help enough to live next door to you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You're not going to pay the help enough to live next door to you. Well, it's a maid. So what? Learn how to be more than a maid.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, the black thing, it's not new, James. It's been around for a long time. I've never been on board with it. I've seen it. It was a lie early on. Look at that thing, Al Sharpton, what he did with that little girl. That little girl ran away.
Which one was that?
Tawana
Brawley? Oh, so she was little? Or she was just physically a small stature?
A teenager, like 14, 15 years.
Falsely accused 4 white men of gang R-wording her, raping her?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know how serious that is? People lose their livelihood over that stuff.
Yeah.
One of them was actually a cop. I think one of them was a cop. Maybe these people probably never recovered.
Falsely accused 4 white men, age 15, falsely accused 4 white men of kidnapping and raping her over a 4-day period.
Right.
Al Sharpton
that's
all
why
over
those
it.
DEI hires and affirmative action and all of this civil rights, that's why it's not good. All they do is lie.
Yep. This is how Al Sharpton used to look. That's how I was used to him looking for the longest time.
like a little pimp.
Terrible. Yeah, exactly. That's his style. What a mess.
Yeah, that's definitely his style. I don't know, how old is Al Sharpton? He's like Count Dracula. How long has he been around? He's been doing this since, like the late 60s, I think.
He's too old to be that evil and shameless, but he still is evil and shameless. He's running his mouth about every wrong thing. Has he ever been right? I don't think so.
I don't think so. You know, I was a young teenager.
He's only 70? He's only
Yeah,
70
he's
years
70.
old. Wow.
You know what, man? I was a young man, young kid when I first heard about him.
Yeah.
I remember my father telling me,
I think he preached at like 4 years old.
don't listen to this dude.
Right.
Early on, don't follow this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did his first, I feel like he preached it like 4 years old. 5'10", by the way. Anyway. Yeah, because Jesse Jackson's 83. I thought that they were kind of the same ages, but just that Jesse Jackson had deteriorated more.
I think Al's a little younger.
Yep.
And the other thing about the Marvin Gaye thing is a little bit more complex than that. His father was a cross-dresser, and he was kind of protective of Marvin, and Marvin was kind of rebellious. He was a church singer. His father was a minister. It's more like his father was always kind of abusive to him, and then he retaliated in his later years. But Marvin is one of the greatest singers, one of them.
Yeah.
And the situation with Sam Cooke is just a bad situation getting out of hand in like a split second. I don't know if the woman that killed him wanted to just go out and kill somebody. I just think that she probably took a defensive stance, being a hotel manager in that area.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I give her the benefit of the doubt. I can't say. I mean, she's gone too, probably.
Prostitutes have been known to do things to you while you're doing business,
Right.
Take ID, wallet.
And the hotel owner or motel owner doesn't necessarily have to be in on it. And according to her, Al Sharpton was accusing her of being in on it, which may not be the case.
I mean,
that's called being a slave to your passions. And
no. I mean, that's kind of a setting, dude. Anything can happen in a split second.
True.
If they say he didn't have the woman took what? His wallet, his money,
his clothes. I think
his clothes. So he comes. I'm okay. If you first hear the story, it sounds crazy that he came to the manager's office with no clothes. Well, the woman took his clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What a mess. Well, I appreciated William in California.
How's Nancy Pelosi doing? We got an update?
Oh, I'll have to look into that one.
She fell down.
Oh, really? She fell?
Yeah, she's getting surgery, hip surgery.
Ooh. Well, I wish her well. She has aged. She has finally aged. You know, they get all that plastic surgery on their face or whatever it is. Yeah. I don't know if she did, but she definitely seems like she had a facelift or something.
She did.
Over the years.
Yeah.
But she's getting up there. They're all getting up there.
She's 80, I think 84, 85.
It's time to repent.
Mm-hmm. All right, James. Take care, man.
You as well. Take care.
All right.
Bye. A couple more super chats, guys. I'm learning this. I'm learning. Are you pleased with? Are you impressed with the fancy dancy thing over here? See it? Don't get dizzy. Hopefully, none of my viewers are prone to lights blinking seizures. Mr. Pink bought a coffee. Talk about imagination. Imagine paying Hake to tell him you want to. Hopefully, this is clean. Fight him and ask him to ask about what other people think about you. Not morally straight. Might be the most depraved ego trip I've ever heard someone on. Beta. Rainbow emoji. Hey, everybody's... anyway, I'm not trying to make him feel better, but... Oh, the assignment this week. And I'm not saying Mr. Pink is faltering in this. He's purely descriptive, perhaps. But the assignment is don't judge anyone or anything, not even yourself. That's the church assignment. Shout out, Mr. Pink. Thank you for your coffee. It's a shame that God's promise is God's promise. A beautiful thing like a rainbow. Roy G. Biv is what I learned from high school What was that? Would that be chemistry? Why would I have learned it in chemistry? Is it chemistry or physics? Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Whatever indigo is. Sort of a purplish blue. What's indigo? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That's the order of the rainbow colors. Roy G. Biv is how you remember it. But a nice thing like God's promise, and they're using it for mess. A shout out. Harmony 5 coffees, Hake with the good hair, cool sunglasses emoji. Thanks, that's nice. From far away and from the front, it looks fine. Thanks. Mostly. Best hair on the internet. That's how it became a meme with this black guy was all hyped about the whole JLP crew team thing. Shout out to the people in the supporters. I'm afraid to show this one. Is this one? Oh yeah, Aries 1 gave this Ninja Genie on Friday and I didn't get to read it. Hake, throw some extra lemons in the chest sometime for the homies on the one time, know what I'm saying? And there was another diamond from somebody in the DLive crew saying, Joe from Phoenix, I don't know if I want to say this, Dijon Paul. I don't know if I want to say, this is a confusing shot. Dijon Paul, I don't know if I want to say it. But he's saying that Joe from Phoenix something. Yeah, for some reason, that's not the right direction. It's not the right direction. He says back to front. Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to give you guys some lemons. Treasure chest. Shall I give you guys some lemons? Aries 1 every day gives me a diamond with no message. So shall I give you... let me give you 100. 100. Let me not say it so black. Oh, look at these. Bells, ice creams, diamonds. So no lemons. It's bells that you guys are giving me. Ninja sled and ninjet. Cool, cool. Okay, so here is, oops, LM blank AO says, what's his name? So shall I distribute the rewards? Treasure chest open on DLive. Let me do this. Move myself. Do I have the no chest move along thing? Hold on. Complicated business. Do. Is it macros? No. I'm gonna get this, guys, if it's the last thing I do. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the sticker's right here. No chest, move along. Okay, but then that's actually not true because I'm going to click the chest. Distribute the rewards. Go over to dlive.tv/The Hake Report to get your redistribution of bells or lemons. A measly little whatever. Watch what it pops up. This is the one. The treasure chest is going down. Boom. Congratulations to Kilo Alpha Tango, Potleaf, Thrustasar, Bombjack. Nice. Well, congratulations. Wow, that's some... Oh, how do you guys get such... Is that a big chest? Oh, I guess I had let it accumulate quite a bit. Nice. Hey. Anyway. Thank you, guys. Whoa, what's that noise? Oh, turn off your... I think your mic is on, Mr. Producer. Mr. Call Screener. Thanks. That kind of surprised me. Okay. You know what? Somebody else died. This black gal. This is kind of a sad story. She died. I told you about her last week. This poet, Commie Nonsense Network was promoting her. Didn't say who she was. Beloved poet and activist, Nikki Giovanni. This is from Bossip. Far left extremist Bossip. Black, by the way. What do I do with this? Oh, I don't accept cookies. Oh, what in the world? Maybe I should just accept them. But anyway, beloved poet and activist Nikki Giovanni dies at 81. Rest in eternal peace. Eternal peace. At least they didn't say rest in power. Oh, look, that's her. Look at that big, there's, it's a nice smile on that gal. It's not, and that is her real hair. She has that somewhat poor posture. This gal, a luminary of the black arts and civil rights movement, friends with icons like Rosa Parks. I'm just going to click accept cookies because I don't know how to get rid of it. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Pardon me, Bill. This gal. But her first book, Black Feeling, Black Talk, 1968, Smithsonian National Museum. See, Smithsonian is kiss-ups. They're a bunch of kiss-ups. They're not necessarily respectable that much. Her works, including Nikki Rosa, and continue to... Look at that face. That looks like a slightly girlier version of Michael Jackson. What did that say? Her works, what? I can't read that fast. The last book. We will forever be blessed to have a shared legacy, dear cousin Allison somebody. She had quite a look. Groundbreaking poetry, tireless advocacy, and what? I can't read that fast. Why are you so fast? Lives she touched. Look at that. That is not a good look, in my opinion. Look at this. Big old shirt. But anyway, shout out. This gal died. I don't know why they say eternal peace, but at least they didn't say rest in power. Isn't that a nice smile on this gal? But even as smiling faces tell lies, they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces sometimes. She died at the tender age of 81 years old. That's how old my grandpa was when he died. The one who died too young, my opinion. But shout out to the people who die early like that. Or even earlier than that. That's not that young. But it's, for me, that's a tender age. You're not done. Sometimes you are done, though. Maybe because she was drinking these coffees. Okay, so she was, academic world. Cancer. Battled 3 times with cancer. Cancer gets a lot of people. Well, rest in peace, gal. I like her hands. Those are some nice old lady hands. They're not all skinny either. Kind of rough to look at, honestly. But hey, shout out to the old folks. You are not your body, right? It's funny because you start to remind yourself you're not your body when your body starts breaking down. Well, you're all identifying with your body when your body looks good, if it ever looks good. Nikki Rosa. I've read this poem so many times. What poem was that? Let's hope it doesn't cuss. And pardon me, Mexican Monday is coming up. Even though you remember, your biographers never understand your father's pain as he sells his stock and another dream goes. And though you're poor, it isn't poverty that concerns you. And though they fought a lot, it isn't your father's drinking that makes any difference, but only that everybody is together and your sister and you and your sister have happy birthdays and very good Christmases. This is... I think you guys are sometimes easily impressed You know how Hake is sometimes easily impressed? I think that people fall into that. I'll hit like, though. Hopefully I don't get blocked for hitting like. I'm one of 14. Don't harass them. Senior editor of The Atlantic. Oh, shout out. They prop up some of the people who should not be propped up. The blacks always have their female poet people. Maya Angelou, Bell Hooks, and they put lowercase. How hoity-toity do you have to be to spell your name? Bell Hooks, all lowercase. I shake my head. Tireless advocacy. Whatever. Anyway. Kevin Howe asks in the chat, why is gluttony a sin if we are not our bodies? He asks. And I don't know if it's called a sin, but it is wrong. Don't be a glutton. I'm older than Hake and have never read a poem by Giovanni. Oh, let me make sure that I can see myself. How did I do this? Oh. I like to do it this way. Because what you do is spiritual. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a sin. My bag. LOL, says Kevin Howe. I mean, the sin drives you to do stuff that you don't want to do. Like Paul in the Bible, he says, I don't do what I want to do, and what I want to do, when what I don't want to do, I do. Sin living in me does it, he says. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. And so, yeah, what you do in the physical world, and it is, the spirit, your point is well taken, Kevin Howe. The spirit, our body affects our spirit, obviously, he says. That's a weak spirit if it's, a satanic spirit is affected by the body and the world around us. Blown and buffeted by the waves, like those parents and things. You're going to love this Mexican Monday music, I hope. Hopefully it's not dirty or cussing. You know those Latin people? They're simps. No te va. Never mind. I almost started to sing it. So yeah, a weak spirit is affected by the body because that's Satan, affected by the outer world. I think a strong spirit is unaffected. That's why people respect men who they call them stoics or stoic. They call them unshaken, unmovable. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. Bracing myself, Hake, says he's. I almost brought it up on you when you were on the phone, but your phone was kind of messed up. So I would say that God's spirit is not moved by those things. But the devil's spirit in us, we're moved by all that stuff. That's why they're pandering to kids being, hey, water. Who are going to compare themselves and keep up with the Joneses. What a mess. What a mess. Thank you, Kevin Howe, for the thoughtful thing. By the way, shout out to Bomb Jack and Kilo Alpha Tango and Dijon Paul for the off-color coffee. I think it was off-color diamond. Bomb Jack says, Hake report. Kilo Alpha Tango says, know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Thank you, sirs and people. Shout out to the much ignored redheaded stepchildren called the DLive crew. I have to start to wrap things up, though, guys. Joelle Friday is going to be coming in here. And I like that one song that goes. Don't you like that one song that goes like that? This is kind of early to be playing it, but better early than late, right?
Esta cumbia nació al arrullo del mar, una noche de luna con tu dulce mirar, tu sonrisa le dio un sabor celestial y el latir de tu pecho su vibrante compás. No te vayas, corazón, no me niegues tu reír.
So good.
No te vayas, corazón.
Oh my goodness, no. He's saying don't leave, heart. I don't know what else he's saying.
Fue preludio de amor, un poema sensual, una dulce quimera que invitaba a soñar. Todo aquello pasó, tal vez no volverá, pero el último beso no lo puedo olvidar.
The last kiss, I can't forget.
No te vayas, corazón, no me niegues tu reír.
Don't kiss,
No te
kids.
vayas, corazón.
It's not Christian, I don't
Voy
think.
a morir. No te vayas, corazón. No me niegues tu reír. No te vayas,
This is not Mexican.
sí voy a morir.
Just the right amount of cowbell. Yeah, I know. The Mexicans like it.
No me niegues tu reír. No te vayas, corazón. Sí voy a morir. No te vayas, corazón.
Merry Christmas.
No me niegues tu reír. No te vayas, corazón. Sí voy a morir. No te vayas, corazón. No me niegues tu reír. No te vayas, corazón.
Well, guys, this has been... Oh, I still have a couple minutes to go. Thank you guys for bearing with me through the beautiful music, in my opinion. Joel Friday TV is coming up next here. What is his thing? It says, why do you still struggle with sin? Something like that. Still struggling with sin? Why? He asks. So check that out. It's going to be cool. We do have the Punchie TV thing coming up. That's going to be kind of fun. I want to see what this 13-year-old supposedly looked like when she was 13. I doubt we'll get the satisfaction of seeing the pictures of this anonymous gal who's accusing the Free Diddy or whoever, Jay-Z. Not my favorite person in the world, but I don't play favorites. Adios, America. Joel Friday TV coming up next. Bye.